And we have game just like that, and we win just like that against Bobo 3 million. The Pecharunt is doing the 60, another win, and we win again, stealing another game back to back to back. This is Mega Latias EX, and I absolutely love playing this very toxic deck. Here's a look at the 60 card list we're playing for today's gameplay video. This is the preferred deck for players who are not able to practice as much and grind out so many games. This deck is really easy to pilot, very, very powerful, very underrated, and you can steal games from your opponent in a blink of an eye. Now, we're not going to get into a super detailed deck profile for this gameplay, but I will do one later this weekend. For now, I'll give you guys a quick TLDR about this list as we're looking at it. We have, of course, our Menacing Poison package to try and take knockouts as early as turn 1. We, of course, have our Latias EX as well, which will be our main attacking Pokemon for some hit and run action. We also have Munkidori in here to throw some damage counters back at our opponent, and the new Yveltal as well is a really strong retreat lock Pokemon, which plays very nicely with the dark energies. This deck is all about rage baiting your opponent, making them upset that they can't retreat their Pokemon, taking knockouts in between turns so they can't use Fezandipiti, and of course Latias EX is a very strong endgame attacker, as well as Bloodmoon Ursaluna to close out games. This deck right here is in my top 3 decks for the current Mega Evolution format, so if you guys want to learn more about it and see more and more gameplays for it, make sure you guys subscribe. And of course, if you guys are looking to buy any sleeves at all, the friends over at Endgame are celebrating their 1-year anniversary, and it's the biggest sale they've ever done ever. It is buy one, get one free. So you can use my code SneakerTalk as well. I think you can stack that on top of the buy one get one free promotion. Bulk up on your endgame sleeves while you can. And of course, hit that like button down below. Let's see if we can get this video to 200 thumbs up. That would mean a lot to me. So let's hop into some games now in Arceus rank with Mega Latias EX. Ooh, really nice start looking here. Oh my gosh, we got the Mew, we got the Squawk, we got the Carmine, we got the Ultra Ball. There's a good chance we might be able to get a turn 1 donk here. Alright, here we go. Halucha. Oh, we're getting there already. We got a lot of great options. We're going to go Ultra Ball. Discarding these guys here. We're going to grab our Brute Bonnet next. And we can go ahead and put the Brute Bonnet in. We'll go Jet Energy this Pecharunt, just so we have 2 more draw off the Mew EX. And of course, Jet's going to work perfectly for the Pecharunt. We're going to go Mew Restart for 2. Always want to maximize our draw power here. Nice, and we have game just like that. We don't even have to play Carmine turn 1. We don't even have to play, we don't even have to use our Squawk and Seize turn 1. We just win the game on our very first turn. And that is how you do it, boys and girls. Good game 1 right here for the content. And of course, it always feels good, especially if you're going to do this at a regional tournament or a cup where it's like best of 3. Being able to win so fast is such a huge bonus. In those long days of playing, or if you're really strapped for time, just in case, you know, a game 1 and a game 2 can go the distance. Now, this is a deck that is still very competitive, even if it is in a best of 3 scenario. A lot of people think, oh, donk decks are only good in best of 1, but no, this deck can hold, it can hang with the big boys. We have that big attack for the second attack option on Mega Latias EX, and of course, just being able to turn off your opponent's Fezandipiti the entire game feels phenomenal as well. Essentially banning one of the best cards in the game from your opponent's deck. Alright, so for this game, we have the beautiful Yveltal right here. One of the best new inclusions from the Mega Evolution base set that just came out. It's great for 2 amazing reasons. First of all, free retreat. So just automatically becomes a great pivot option. But not only that, it uses Dark Energy, so if we're going to use Dark Energies in our decks, it pairs well with Munkidori and stuff. And then on top of that, it has a Retreat Lock attack, which is clutch for 20. Now, their Bulbasaur here actually has a Retreat Lock attack as well, which is pretty funny. So let's see if we can knock out this Bulbasaur on the first turn. We'll go Fire Energy onto Mega Latias EX, and we'll go with the Carmine here and see what we can get. Alright, looks like we're going to go Ultra Ball here and discard a Psychic and a Prism. That's going to grab us our Squawkabilly EX. And I would love to go for the turn 1 donk on the Bulbasaur here, just to start the race. Now, if we were playing the Roaring Moon deck, which is very similar to this deck, Roaring Moon would be weak to the grass attackers here, which would be a huge issue. So luckily for us, we're not going to have to worry about weakness hitting us for knockout. We're going to go ahead and end our turn right there. Unfortunately, we couldn't pull it off. 3 cards short of Exodia, the Pecharunt Jr., and all the other stuff. And they got the turn 1 Stadium and the Grass Generator Bug Catching Set. Bug Catching Set's really cool. So they got a Grass Meganium Pokemon and a Grass Energy. It's just basically like an extra strong, extra strength electric generator for grass type decks. Now, luckily for us, oh, actually, no, unluckily for us, they're going second, so they could start evolving the second they wanted to with Force of Vitality, since they are going second. But if they went first, they can't evolve on that opening turn. And we're getting hit with the Iono here. Let's see what happens. Now, I would like to make the quick comparison right now that this deck feels and kind of plays very similar to Poison Moon, or the Poison Package Roaring Moon EX, and it's still a really good deck right now. That deck actually won a Pokemon City League in Japan, which is like a big, massive tournament, usually of like 100 players, like a lot of players in Japan. It's all best of 1 in Japan, but it did win. And next we got the Perilous Jungle. So yeah, if you want to play sort of some Poison Cheese deck, both this deck and the this deck and Poison Moon feel really good. So let's go ahead and bump the Stadium. We're gonna go ahead and do a okay, so we have 2 Bulbasaurs on the board, a Chikorita, Teal Mask. I think we kind of want to go potentially the Toadschool. The Toadschool, if it were to evolve into Toadschool EX, would stop us from poisoning stuff. But let's go with a Secret Box here. And Secret Box will get us a Jungle, a Mochi, a Nest Ball, and let's grab Lillie's Determination as well, just so we can get a fresh new hand too. Okay, we're gonna go Nest Ball here, grab our Pecharunt Jr. We're also going to go ahead and attach this Mochi to Mega Latias EX, and we're not going to poison ourselves here on this turn, just because we don't want to knock the Bulbasaur out with damage, because we would hit for 80. What we want to do here is just hit him with the regular attack and then switch into the Pecharunt. Actually, did I miscalculate? Do we have to? You know what? Yeah, I think I fumbled it, because we still have to poison them. Okay, yeah. So I did make a mistake here. We're gonna have to knock him out and not utilize the fact that we have poison damage to hurt them. So let's do the strafe. And then we will get our boy out of the active, and we'll give him the Yveltal here. So we'll give them this one prizer. Now, if they do go for a retreat lock play, you do have the Jet Energies, which is fantastic. You love being able to have Jets in your deck, especially going forward into a meta that's going to have a lot of sort of stalling cards available. There's going to be a big rise in like Pidgeot EX decks with the control, like the retreat lock shenanigans going in. We're going to see the Sudowoodos, the Venusaurs, the Bulbasaurs, I should say, the Bulbasaurs that can retreat lock. You're going to see other players also play Yveltal as well. It's always good to have some switching cards. Not too many decks are playing the item card switch, so having a Jet Energy in a deck that can really benefit from it like this is really helpful. So another big similarity I want to mention now to this version of Mega Latias EX in comparison to the Poison Moon is, you know, with Roaring Moon X, we would also use Frenzy Gouging or the Calamity Storm with some poison damage and some monkey damage. Those big Okos on those like 300 HP plus Pokemon. In this case, our Mega Latias EX actually does that 300 damage in the attack itself. And then, of course, we can do up to 380 with the Poison Mochi. 340 actually. Yeah, 340 for poison, and then another 80. So we can swing up to 400. No, my math is so bad. Okay, we're gonna go and we'll go Toxic Powder here, and then bring in the guy, and straight for 40. Farewell Toadscruel. Bring in our Pecharunt, and hurt him for 80. So as I was saying, our big 1-hit KO option here is, instead of using Calamity Storm or Frenzy Gouging, which also takes some like extra time to really build up into, we're going to get value from attacking with this big guy the whole match, right? Roaring Moon's usually just like a surprise play and then big one-hit KO, and it's pretty easy to knock out unless you have a booster capsule. But if you're frenzy gouging, your Roaring Moon goes down to very little HP. We hit for 300, potentially 340 in our base damage line, like our base damage, so 340, and that could happen in this actual match right here. We could pull that off here. All right, so they're going for the Nest Ball Fez. Luckily for us, we didn't take a knockout in between, or we took a knockout in between turns. So that Fez is going to give them 0 value, and now it's going to be clogging their bench as well. So that's just one of the huge things a lot of players forget, is you don't have access to Fez. And as a player, I've had to stop over 40 plus double prize penalties over the summer and over the last couple of like just weeks and months for players thinking that they can draw with Fez. And you know, honestly, maybe I should let them, you know. But the inner Canadian in me, the good sportsmanship shot in me, says, no, we're going to win cleanly and we're going to lose cleanly. But there's absolutely, I could have won so many games just by letting my opponent draw for Fez. So if anyone were to ever question my character, that is on the record. I will always play as sportsmanlike as possible, even if it costs me money. Because, you know, I'm not going to get the win when I could be getting a free win. So here, Regigigas can actually swing for a lot if we're a Terra Pokemon, and it's actually a really solid attacker. Regigigas is the one-hit KO option into big Dragapults and stuff like that, being able to swing for 330. In my own Venusaur list, we also play this card as well. But luckily for us, we're not Terra. We're just a big old Mega Pokemon. So we're only going to get hit for 100 HP, and there is the concession right there. You'll love to see it. So really dominant showing there from the deck so far. And now we are 2 games in, and as always, I will show you guys all these games back to back to back. We're not filtering out the bad games, and of course we're not filtering out the good games, that's for sure. I want to show you guys an accurate representation of the decks that I'm building and putting together. Again, if I haven't mentioned it yet already, I'll leave the deck list in the description down below if you want to give it a try on Pokemon TCG Live. This type of deck is really good if you want to climb the ladder very fast and just fly into the Arceus rank, because there's going to be just a percentage of games, maybe like 30%, 35% of games now, where you can win by going first. If you win that coin toss and you go first and you pull off that donk, do that enough times, you're going to be flying through the ranks. And as you guys know, there's a lot of glitches and there's a lot of stuff that's wrong with Pokemon TCG Live. It's one of the worst. It's one of the worst victims, you could say, for all the issues that a video game could have. All right, so we're starting first against Fanrotom, which is crazy. We're going to go Secret Box here, discarding Mimikyu, discarding Energy, and discarding the boss's orders. And let's see if we can dunk them here on this first turn here. So we have the Carmine in hand, but we're also going to just pull it out as well. Just so we have a... We're going to pull a Carmine out as well. For discard fodder here too. So what I want to do here is, I think we actually have game. Yeah, Secret Box turn 1 means we have game. We can go attach for turn to our Munkidori. We're going to go Nest Ball and grab a, let's grab our Brute Bonnets. Now that we have Brute Bonnets, put that there. We're going to go Perilous Jungle. We're going to go Ultra Ball. We're going to grab the Pecharunt. We're going to bench our Pecharunt, and then retreats, and then Toxic Powder. And because it is not a dark Pokemon, it takes 80 damage, and we win just like that against Bobo 3 million. So again, as someone who, if you're a player such as myself, like I know I play a lot, like you guys know I play a lot. But as someone who plays a lot of different decks, I don't necessarily have time to specialize in like those S tier decks. And so if you're going to, you know, have a social life outside of Pokemon, you're not going to play too much Pokemon. I find playing the linear decks or the cheesy decks like this give you like a big buff in being able to just win games you might not be able to win otherwise. And so it feels very good, you know, playing a deck that you don't have to practice as much. You just have to know these cool combos that you can pull off. And there's going to be games too where when you end up hitting those really good players, that the games will get dragged out to the mid and to the late game, like into the late games of the gameplays and the matches. And that's where the practice will really show of you playing this deck a lot. But you can just not be super well practiced. You can take this list and you can just steal games away. So if you don't have the time to practice, if you don't have the time to grind out Pokemon TCG Live, maybe you're employed, then this is definitely a deck I can recommend. Now, you might end up losing some friends along the way if you hit them too many times. You know, if you go to different tournaments and you keep hitting them the same time again and again and again, you might upset a few people, especially because, you know, there's a lot of sore losers out there. But eventually, word might spread that you are a donk player. You know, you are a player that people have to fear. They will have to bench a second Pokemon, you know? All right, here we go. We're playing against a deck with Dripplin and Giacomo. I haven't seen Giacomo in a while. But the fact that we have a Pecharunt already, Brute Bonnet already, and an Ultra Ball is very, very exciting. We can literally Ultra Ball away this Mega Latias and a Dark Energy, bring it back with the Night Stretcher, or even just put the Prism right onto our Pokemon. We get Squawkabilly and we're cooking. All right. If we can get that turn 1 oh, no. We're going second. Okay, so let's try and do it the good old-fashioned way of attacking with the Mega Latias EX here. Did we lose the coin toss? Yeah, we lost the coin toss, and they chose first. All right, so they chose first for this deck. Interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, we got the Teal Dance and the Chikorita. Very nice Chikorita artwork, I gotta say. All right, here we go. What can we do on this opening turn? Ooh, Yveltal is huge. We might be able to retreat lock this Ogerpon. All right, let's bring the Brute Bonnet in. Let's bring that in. Let's bring this in. Let's go Ultra Ball. We'll discard. Yeah, we'll discard Night Stretcher and Dark. We'll get our friendly Squawk, friendly neighborhood turn 1 turbo engine. And then here, we're going to go Prism onto Mega Latias, attach the Mochi, and we're going to really hope we can find regular Latias. So we got Mega Latias and regular Latias in the deck. And unfortunately, we weren't able to find it, but we did find the Perilous Jungle in a Capsule. Oh my gosh, and one of my favorite things in the world too is if you're able to set up 2 Pecharunts, if they knock out the one Pecharunt, you promote the other Pecharunt instead, and you still hurt them with the bonus poison damage, which is just sometimes absolutely disgusting. So there's a good chance we could get hit with an Iono on this next turn. This Bravery Charm isn't going to be doing too much for us here, so I'm thinking we want to protect our Squawk because it's such an easy liability to take down. So we're going to put the Bravery Charm on the Squawk here, and we're going to go ahead and use Toxic Powder. And that will be our turn. And I'm thinking about benching the Pecharunt here, because if they do knock this out, then we can still hurt him with poison damage. I think that's what we're going to want to do. So either way, we're going to hurt them for some nasty poison damage in between turns. But there's a good chance they could like retreat here and bring in something else. They could play Lillie's Determination here and go crazy with the 8 cards that they get. They could bump our Stadium, they could get Meganium up, and then Meganium, you know, multiplies their energy by 2. So any deck that's like a grass deck like this is very scary for Roaring Moon players. And so that's one of the reasons you would want to stop playing Roaring Moon. So, because there's just so many Mega Venusaur players out there, out and about trying to do things. So we're not going to give them those easy prizes. We're going with the Mega Latias instead. And it's just also very fun to play with the new cards. You know, I was playing with Roaring Moon EX all summer long, so it's very refreshing to play with completely new cards. If you're not looking at Pecharunt, Toxic, Brute Bonnet, and Squawk. You know, it's nice to see the Yveltal. It's nice to see the Mega Latias. So it's like, it's kind of like a reskin of the deck, you could say. An alternate colorway of Poison Moon. There's just one of the biggest blunders, one of the things that sucked a lot about Poison Moon is you had to really dig through your deck and put Dark Energies in your discard just so you could play Sada to do stuff. This deck doesn't require it, and this deck doesn't punish you as hard if you miss on those things. So here we can promote our Pecharunt as well. Actually, yeah, we can go. Okay, we have options here. We could promote this Pecharunt now and hurt him for 80, or we could put in our Mega Latias EX and guarantee the knockout. So there's actually, it's even better to promote the Latias here instead of the Pecharunt. But we're going to be promoting this Pecharunt anyways when we do switch, do the switcheroo, you feel me? So here we go. Instead of swinging for 40, we're going to be swinging for 80 because we're going to get poisoned. And then Strafe for 80. And we could give them literally any Pokemon here. We don't even have to give them the Pecharunt, and I kind of don't want to even give them the Pecharunt. I actually want to, in fact, give them the Yveltal here. We're giving them the Yveltal because we can knock him out with the 30 damage from the Perilous Jungle anyways. So we're already down one Pecharunt Jr., right? We want to still maintain our Pecharunt Juniors for the future plays. So that's also just so clutch, being able to have something like that in the active. Now, another really good card that we haven't put in this deck, which I would highly recommend you try if you want to be extra toxic as well, is the Gravity Gemstone. Gravity Gemstone is also very, very good, especially if we have a Latias on the board, giving all of our basic Pokemon free retreat regardless. But Gravity Gemstone, if you don't know what it does, makes all Pokemon's retreat cost 1 more. So if your opponent doesn't have a Latias on the board, they get punished for it. They could have a Pokemon with free retreat, but all of a sudden, now you're forcing them to now attach an energy, and that could slow them down immensely as well. So there's so many fun, cool sort of control style element cards you could put into Mega Latias. Mega Latias is essentially a control kind of style of deck. You know, we're controlling the fact that our opponent isn't gonna get to use Flip the Script all the game. We're controlling the fact that we have a 3-prize Pokemon that can run away, and we can just put like a wall Pokemon in front of them, like a Mimikyu or a just, you know, one of those wall style of cards. So, you know, a lot of times some control decks, they'll get flack for being boring in terms of the actual gameplay, because some of them you just sit there and you just like watch your opponent struggle and get rage baited. But this, you actually get to interact, you get to make some cool plays, you get to have some fun with the lines. Alright, so here we go. Our Yveltal just got knocked out. We're going to promote our boy Mega Latias EX. And now we have flip the script as well. Also, another fun thing you can do with this deck is you can put Poison Mochi on your Bloodmoon Ursaluna, and you can swing for 280 with the Bloodmoon, and then get extra poison damage from the Perilous Jungle. So you can actually swing for 310 with the Bloodmoon Ursaluna, which is insane. You know, normally you can't do that. You can knock out your opponent's Bloodmoon Ursaluna as well, which always feels pretty good. Alright, so enough yapping, let's get to playing. We're going to bench our Fezandipiti EX here, and use Flip the Script for 3 additional cards. Something our opponent will never get to do. And so here, we actually have the knockout. We could go Crispin and then take him out that way. And that honestly might be what we do. Another big plus is we're going to burn all of our energies, because the effect of Illusory Impulse is discard all energies from this Pokemon. So their Teal Mask Ogerpon is not going to hurt us as hard, essentially. So let's go ahead and use an Ultra Ball here, discarding Squawkabilly and the other Ultra Ball. And we have the option of Munkidori as well, which is pretty cool. Alright, let's grab the Brute Bonnet, I think. No, Latias. I think Latias is safe, since we're not going to have a free retreater anymore. Yeah, since we lost our free retreater in Yveltal, we want to make sure we can do that. I also should have done a deck search if we can actually get value from the Crispin. We only play, I believe, 1 Crispin in our list, because we don't play a lot of basic energies, we play a lot of special energies. So if you want to play a deck that can go very reliably Crispin for the Illusory Impulse, you might want to throw in some more Crispins, more basic energies into your list. But for my personal build, I have been enjoying just the one. It's kind of like just a really good sneaky cheeky attack. We got that. And of course, you're going to want to make sure you're attaching your basic energies to these Pokemon, because if we do have to discard them, for example, we're going to want to be able to Night Stretcher them back. So we're not putting on a second Prism in this scenario. So we're going to go Illusory Impulse for the 300 here. Get that knockout. Discard all of our energies. And now actually, yeah, grabbing that Latias was a very, very smart play, because we can now just free retreat our big Latias with the help of the small one, which is really cool. I'm surprised they didn't make it like Mega Latios, because it would have made sense, right? If they had Latias EX and Mega Latios EX to have, you know, both of them on the board. But they did release the baby, the baby. They released the small single prize Latios, which is also a card we've excluded from our list at this time. I just find that having so many non-donk cards means that we're not getting the donk off as much. But if you want it to be more of a consistent mid to late game deck, having the single prize Latios as well is a very valid consideration for your deck. But in this case, I wanted to lean more in on the donking, so we didn't go with the Latios single prize version. So right here, it looks like we could have game maybe on this next turn if we go Bloodmoon, Prism Energy, Poison Stuff. Ooh, we would need the Mochi. Yeah, we would need the Mochi for that 2 prizes. We have Boss's Order, so we could just go for the Teal Mask and we just win with the Bloodmoon play. Alright, here comes Syrup Storm, knocking out our Fezandipiti EX. And I think we should have it just with the Bloodmoon boss play. So we're going to do that right now. We're going to go ahead and... oh, we got double boss too. We're farming the bosses. Put that in there. Throw it in there. Retreat. For good measure, we'll put the Ancient Capsule on there. Boss that. Let's go. Let's go. Toxic Powder for funsies. And then Bloodmoon for the knockout. And there we go. I think that's 4 games in a row right now. This is pretty toxic, I must say. But yeah, Bloodmoon getting the swing for that 240 and getting that poison damage of the making it 270 is also quite good as well to take down other big tankier Pokemon for whatever reason. So there's, I believe, game 4. Of course, for all these games, I'll have the chapters available so you can see the exact decks we're playing against and stuff like that. And let's keep it going. I'm having so much fun with this deck. It's I love. Oh, what the? What is that username, brother? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. Let's get going for this next game here. We got a heads on the coin toss, and our opponent will be choosing first or second. One really fun thing that I also enjoy about playing these donk decks is if our opponent chooses second willingly, and then we donk them on the first turn, and they had a second Pokemon that they could have played. Here, they're very aware. Hey, look at this. They are, well, they're going first, but you know, that's if they weren't going first, it's also weird to see our opponent bench extra Pokemon going first. Some players would be like, why are you benching the extra stuff? But it just comes down to preference, possibly. Here we go. Double Badoo, double Dreepy. All right, what can we get going here? We got the... Honestly, I probably should have, maybe should have had this guy in the active. All right, let's go attach the Psychic to your boy, and we'll go Carmine here. Nice. Oh my gosh, you'll love to see it. All right, so we will go Secret Box. We don't really need the Bravery Charm here. Crispin could be really good in the later portions of the game. We don't need the Prism, and we have the Iono. We can get a different draw supporter off this, so we're gonna want to keep the Crispin because we have less copies of Crispin available. I think we only have one. We have the 2 Ionos. So here we can go ahead and grab the Jungle, grab the Capsule. We'll go Lillie's Determination, so we don't have to play the Crispin the next turn necessarily. And another item, we're gonna need our Nest Ball, so we can get free retreat with our Latias EX. And yeah, some players are gonna ask, why is the A-Spec Secret Box? Why not Precious Trolley if you really want to get that big crazy setup? But Precious Trolley doesn't allow you to, you know, grab support. Like Precious Trolley ain't the same, dog. I'll be real with you. Secret Box is the way to go. Being able to grab something like a Nest Ball and Capsule for either Pecharunt or Brute Bonnet when you have those out already is just so good. And in this scenario, we don't even need to have Pecharunt in the active here. But I think we're gonna keep the we're gonna Brute Bonnet here. I don't want our Pecharunt to get hurt by the poison. So we're gonna actually promote the Mega Latias EX and pass here. That's just because if we get ticked twice and we're not able to remove the damage with like a Munkidori in our later portions of the game, this Pecharunt's gonna be in range for the Dragapult EX Phantom Dive knockout, which we don't want to happen. So maybe off of the Secret Box, I should have grabbed Boss's Orders. Honestly, I think grabbing Boss's Orders would have been the better play because we would have been able to chase down the Dreepy with the energy on it. So small misplay on my side. No big deal though here. We're still going to be able to take another poison knockout And we got the Penny, which is huge. Okay, so let's bench another Pecharunt here. We'll go ahead and play Lillie's Determination. Give us 6 new cards. We'll save the Crispin for later. Nice, we got the Mew EX as well. So we're going to bench the Mew for some additional draw. I'm also going to put the Prism Energy onto Mega Latias EX here. And we're just going to go for Toxic Powder. And this time we're going to go Retreat. I don't want to keep putting damage on our Pokemon unnecessarily. So let's just bring in the Mew EX here. Honestly, bringing in the Mew might be very silly. Because, well, you know what? They'd have to hit the nuts off of like a Lillie's. But if they get like Rare Candy, Dragapult, Energy, then they could knock out the Mew EX. So promoting the Mew was a bad play there. We should have promoted something else. Probably honestly, the Brute Bonnet is a really solid thing we could have promoted, or just the other Pecharunt, honestly. Yeah, probably other Pecharunt. Oh my God, this is 4 Badoos, and are we sure we're playing against Dragapult, or is this really Badoo with just Recon as the draw engine? What the helly? What the helly? All right, let's go ahead and go Brute Bonnet again. This time, let's get the Crispin going here. May as well. Oh, we're out of basics, so that's also what happens when you don't play too many basics. We'll put the Fire on that, and we'll go ahead and retreat. And now let's start hurting them for 80 instead of the 30. So this is a perfect example of the deck showing you what's possible without items, right? As long as we have that one turn where we can play Secret Box, or just one turn where we can spam our ball cards to get our board flooded, this deck can do a lot of damage with just tools, you know? Tools as a form of attachment, and it's searchable with things like Arven as well is really, really good. Kind of reminds me of Conkeldurr, because Conkeldurr doesn't need energies to attack if you have it poisoned. So we're going to go ahead and attach this to the Pecharunt here. And we could just Carmine away. Yeah, I think we're just good to Carmine this hand away. You know, we have double Night Stretcher, but I don't think we're going to need it at the moment. So I'd rather like try and dig for boss's orders in my deck. So we'll use the Carmine. And nice. We got not cards we can use. We'll use Toxic Powder here. And we're going to go ahead and retreat into the other and pass. So our Dark Energy is in the prizes, or wait, did we discard it earlier and we couldn't Night Stretcher it? Yeah, so we can't Night Stretcher that Dark Energy back, I believe. We still have Prisms available, so we could still use the other Pecharunt. We could still use Pecharunt to attack here at some point if we really needed it to. All right, so Pecharunt's going to take just 10. Just going to keep item locking us all game. But now it's going to get really bad, because now we can go boss the Dreepy and now really, really hurt their feelings here. We'll go retreat into the other Pecharunt and just keep being toxic, taking the knockouts. Even if they were to ever get a Nest Ball for Fez, they can't use the Fez. It's just a huge, huge evil play we can do. And we got Badoo coming in. Is this going to be the last turn of poisoning this Dragapult player? It could be it. They're just not drawing really well at all. And there we go. We've done it once again. We just keep winning. I wouldn't mind having a gameplay with a 100% win rate. Let's go ahead and actually finish him off. Let's go Illusory Impulse for the knockout. And they scooped before we could take the last prize. All right, I think that was game 5 or game 6. Very, very happy. Let's keep it running. It says we've been recording for 34 minutes and 20 seconds. How much of this editing would be cutting out of the gameplay? Maybe like a minute or 2 of like dead time. All right, here we go again. Let's keep it going. Let's keep being toxic, shall we? Now, if you guys are playing your own version of this deck, I'd love to hear how your experiences are with it. What kind of tech cards are you including? Do you have the Latios single prizer? Do you have the Gravity Gemstone? Let me know what you are cooking in your version of the list. Well, this is my own personal homebrew that I was able to cook up. Alrighty, we will be going first for this game. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Pecharunt in the opener. Oh, I love to see that. And the Squawkabilly. Dreams really do come true with this deck. I can't wait to start playing it at locals. I'm staring at this Mega Latias EX on my desk right here. Here it is in the webcam POV. I have this. I pulled 2. So my list originally only played 1, but someone was like, can you really call it a Mega Latias EX deck if there's only 1? Honestly, you still can. You still can. But now you can really call it with 2. And so we have 2 in the deck, and I think 2 feels really good, honestly. I'm really digging the 2. Alrighty, here we go. All we need is an Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, and we win the game here. So let's go Nest Ball here. Let's get Brute Bonnet, and let's see how many capsules we have in deck. We have 3. We have 3 of 4 and a Secret Box. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and put a Prism Energy on this Pecharunt, and we will go Squawk and Seize. If we could win the game here, turn 1. No luck there. We got the Carmine, so we're going to put the Binding Mochi. Actually, we're going to go Ultra Ball here. We're going to try and thin out our hand and get more draw from this Mew. So we're going to use Ultra Ball, discarding Fez and the Jet. We're going to grab... Oh, okay, yeah. We're going to grab the Latias. Actually, let's grab the let's grab the Mega. Because we're going to put the Binding Mochi on the Mega here. And Pecharunt goes in. Alright, we got Restart for 2. Give us Ancient Capsule. Oh, Secret Box. No. Oh, well, we had to use it to draw more cards. Alright, we're going to see Carmine. Here we go. Carmine. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. Oh, wait. No. Oh, no. We still win. We don't need... I don't think we need the stadium. We don't need the stadium here because the Pecharunt is doing the 60. The stadium is basically what would put us for that extra 20. Very nice. Another win right there under our belt. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it grooving. And I do have to say, this is probably the cheapest new deck you can build from the Mega Evolution base set. That's genuinely still competitive. You know, you could probably build the 30 energy Abomasnow. You could probably build some other stuff too. I don't think Manectric EX is too expensive, but this deck, I want to say, is doing a pretty good job at proving itself at being competitive. And yeah, you could probably bring this to your locals and farm as well, at least for the first couple of weeks. It's definitely a really good. It's a really good deck to bring to tournaments where nobody knows you, because you just get to be annoying out of the blue. They're not gonna bench those extra Pokemon again on that turn 1. All right, we're playing against Haggis McGinty 83. Haggis. Sounds like a Scottish mascot's name. I went to a high school, and her actual our mascot was like a big Irish or Scottish dude with like the skirt and all that. It's kind of funny. All right, really good looking start though. Very happy to see this. We got Squawk, we got Ultra Ball, the Mochis. We can go Ultra Ball, get the Brute Bonnet, and then we could win on this first turn as well. All right, we don't even have to do that. So we got the Brute Bonnet here. What we need now is we need Mew, or we also need we need Latias as well. So we need Latias for that. Actually, no. We could get Latias for the free retreat, but Mew would give us more draw. If Mew gives us an energy, and some, we would have more power. It's tough. We could get Mew and then get another ball card. I think I like the idea of getting Mew here, because there's a good chance we can draw energy as well to retreat. If we get just a ball, yeah, and we need the stadium too. Oh my god, we're so talented, bro. Okay, let's go. That's unfortunate that we have these cards in our hand, and we're gonna discard them in just a second. If we get Squawk there, we just win on the spot. All right, let's go Squawk. Discarding our Ace Spec feels pretty bad, but all we needed there was this is literally all we needed. And now we can grab our Pecharunt EX. We can even go as far as just jetting the Pecharunt up. We'll put this there. Toxic Powder. And we win again! Stealing another game back to back to back. So, again, I'm not even like trying to front for you guys. We've now been playing 40 minutes and haven't lost a single game with this deck. This deck is broken, okay? My Mega Latias EX deck is broken. I am telling you. I wonder what we're going to lose to. What would be our first loss? That is what I'm curious about. And then we can continue building the you know, refining the deck. That's one of the really fun things too, is finding out what the weaknesses are to the decks you're building. So you can start building and fixing up your deck around it, or if you can just learn from those misplays. But right now, we're proving to you guys that this deck is running like a absolute monster, a machine. 7 wins in a row now. It's kind of insane. All right, we're playing against God of Nothing. Let's go first here. Turn 1 Secret Box, looking good. Let's go Fezandipiti. See if they bench 2 or not. If they don't, oh my god, I think we could steal the game away. And if they give us mulligans too, if your opponent is a deck that gives you mulligans, your turn 1s get even stronger and stronger and stronger with each mulligan. You get another piece of Exodia, and it just feels so good. Okay, so here we're gonna get to go Secret Box, and honestly, we might just steal it just because we have so many. Okay, no, Munkidori. Okay, Munkidori means we're not stealing it. It means we can't do the play. Okay, we're gonna go with a Secret Box here. That will discard Lillie's Determination, Booster Capsule, Night Stretcher. We'll grab another Carmine for discard fodder. Perilous Jungle. Tool. We're going to need the tool. We're going to need Nest Ball. Yes, I think that's good. So we're going to go Nest Ball for our Brute Bonnet. Get that there. Ooh. We go... We have to maybe... We need a way to get our thing in the jungle. We're not going to get the turn 1 donk here. Okay, let's just play it safe. It's safer to discard the energy than it is to discard the jungle, because we have more energies in the deck than jungles. Let's grab our Pecharunt here. Perilous, Carmine. Nice. Ultra Ball, discarding energy, Monkey. If we're gonna get Latias here. Yeah, we're getting Latias here, so that's fine. And then bench that Toxic Powder. I'm gonna go Prism on the Pecharunt, retreat, and pass. So we're gonna hit him for 80 here. Munkidori's was just always such an annoying. A nuisance for this deck to deal with. If your opponent starts Monkey, you just can't donk them because they have that 110. And we're gonna get to play Lillie's Determination on this next turn. But they need to get a second Pokemon on the board if I'm gonna have a second turn here. So let's see what they're able to pull off. And if they can't get this Monkey out of the active, they're in trouble. Alright, so the Dark Energy could come out here. And this is where it's annoying too. We're doing so much poison damage and stuff, and if they just throw right back at us, it feels rough. Alright, Nest Ball here. They're getting to play the game. Ralts. Will they... Okay, Lillie's Determination. There we go. So they only wanted to just grab the 1 Psychic. I guess they could have grabbed the Dark anyways, but it's going to get shuffled back into the deck. Team Evo. Ooh, okay. That's a really good turn 1. Really good turn 1 from the Lillie's Determination. They were able to get 2 Kirlias potentially here. They'll get knocked out here. They're going to get knocked out. So they're going to have to promote the Monkey most likely. In a best case scenario is they only have 1 Kirlia. I swear, like 80% of the time they only get to evolve 1 Kirlia. They usually prize the other Kirlia. That's how it goes. And that's exactly the case here. So if we're able to... Ooh. I don't think we're going to be able to take a knockout on a Kirlia here. But... we will be able to knock out this Munkidori, I think, honestly. Let's see what we get. Let's see what's possible here with this Lillie's Determination. If Lillie's Determination gives us something like the Binding Mochi, we'll be able to do really well here. And again, they're going to be down 2 monkeys. Like, Monkey is such a big thing for their deck. Not having the Monkey is like brutal. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and attach. We'll go Lillie's Determination here. Oh, nice. We also got the Mochi here, too. Okay, we're going to go Ultra Ball, discarding Squawk and Brute Bonnet. That's going to grab us our Mew for Draw Engine. And we have the knockout with the attack of Mega Latias. So we're going to put this Binding Mochi... Actually, okay. Let's just do Toxic Powder first. We got the Free Retreat, This will hit for 40. Poison will be 80. We'll put the Binding Mochi. Honestly, the Binding Mochi is tempting to put on either Mega Latias or Pecharunt. And we're gonna draw one. Let's do... So we're gonna swing for 50 with the Poison Chain attack if we're starting to do that. Or we could start swinging for 80. Okay, let's just put the Mochi on the Latias. I think that's typically how we were gonna do it. The one thing to note is sometimes you might not want to put the Mochi for the bonus damage, right? Sometimes you're gonna want to put that Bravery Charm. The Bravery Charm here could be really clutch for saving our Mew EX as well. There's definitely a world where they go Screamtail to the Mew, so let's put the Charm on the Mew here. And we'll go Strafe. And do we want to bring in our Pecharunt? Absolutely. And now they have no damage counters to play with either. So Gardevoir, you guys know the deal. Gardevoir is known as the big best deck in format, you know. I think Grimmsnarl is coming for its crown right now. Grimmsnarl is the perfect sort of like counter Gardevoir deck, so it's really picking up in play and sort of cooking the Guardies as well for weakness. Alright, here's the Gardevoir EX. And now if we're able to get something like a Crispin, we have a huge massive knockout available. But if not, we're still putting a ton of damage on the board with our Mega Latias EX here. Alright, there's the Munkidori. There's the Dark Energy, there's Artisan, so they're going to grab their potential attacker for this turn. They can retreat the Guardy out no problem, so they grab a Screamtail, or no, another Monkey. They're going extra Monkey. Honestly, they could attack us. Ooh, I see the play now. They can knock out our Pecharunt if they wanted to. They could load up the Monkey, throw some damage at us, and then hit us with the Mind Bend. That's the world they can, a line they can go for. But they benched the Screamtail here, so let's see what they do with the Screamtail damage. And yeah, maybe we did do a really solid defensive play with the Bravery Charm on the Mew. So there is the retreat. And we're going to get hit for 30 damage from Adrenabrain. And then this Screamtail will be able to hit us for 60 damage times 2. So 120 snipe anywhere on the board. Alright, let's see what they decide to do with this Adrenabrain coming in next. Alright, it's going on to the Pecharunt. Roaring Scream. Where is it going? Right onto our 3 prize Mega Latias EX. Luckily for us, we have Penny. So we might just be able to steal that turn away with the little Penny action here. And we could knock him out with poison damage here as well. I think that might be what we do here. Yeah, I think that's good. Let's go Psychic on there. We're going to go Penny, Mega Latias. I'm going to go Artisan. Ooh, we have Yveltal as well, which is nasty. Petra and Mimikyu. So a bunch of really solid options for our Pokemon that we can take there. Let's go ahead and also achieve the other guys we got. Okay, let's go with the Yveltal here. I think getting the Yveltal out feels pretty decent. And I just want to make sure we're not knocking him out with our attack, which we're good. We're not going to have that happen. Okay, we're going to keep... There's a really good chance we get Iono on this next turn. I think putting this on the Yveltal makes sense. And hit him with the Poison Chain for the knockout with poison damage in between turns here. So again, we're turning off Fezandipiti, which is huge, giving them only a 2-card hand here. And that means if they hit something like Nest Ball, which will typically bail them out to get Fez to then draw the nuts and hit a supporter, then we're in trouble. But here we go. Artisan's coming in. Will we see another Monkey? Ooh, Fluttermane. Ooh, Fluttermane is a spicy inclusion in their list. Alright, here comes the Gardevoir EX Psychic Embrace. There's 20 onto it. Another 20. And we'll see maybe one more. Yep. Alright, who are we swinging with? Are we swinging with Monkey? No, we're swinging with the Fluttermane. Ooh, Fluttermane only turns off our active though. So we do want to keep that in mind. Fluttermane is not like Klefki where all of our basic Pokemon's abilities will be off. It's just whatever's in the active. So we won't be able to do bonus poison damage, for example, with the Pecharunt's ability. Alright. There is all that. And now they're going to have enough to actually knock out the Pecharunt with 2 different Adrenabrains. So here, we're going to probably want to swing in with our Yveltal here. Yeah, swinging in with the Yveltal with the clutch attack is going to have to probably be our play. And then we'll probably take our last 2 prizes on the Gardevoir EX, I would think. Yeah, we would probably... There's a world where we, like, once they eventually knock out our... Oh, counter catch. Oh, that's spicy. Oh, that is spicy. Bringing in our Fluttermane, or bringing in the Latias to turn off our free retreat. Now we got a game. Now we got a game. Alright. We have this. We have Lilies. We have Iono. We have Prism. We have guaranteed poison as well, so we can poison them for 10. Alright, so the thing is here with Iono, we get to see 3 fresh new cards off the top of our deck. And if we play Lilies, we shuffle this big old hand, but we see 6. I think the play is pretty obvious. We're going to want to go with the Lilie's Determination here. So let's do it. If we hit Jet Energy, we're cooking. No Jet Energy there. And right now they have no... they have no... whatchamacallit. Oh, actually, is there a world where we Crispin the next turn and then swing with Latias? No, that doesn't do too much. Okay, we'll put the... Can we use the... Oh, we can't even use that. Alright. We're going to just go slow here and pass. So they can hit us for 90. But yeah, we're not going to give them any more damage counters to play with. I mean, they already have 50 on the Gardevoir. What am I saying? They get to throw over 60 back at us if they wanted to. Alright, here's the Iono. Let's see what happens here. Fluttermane is such a good inclusion. Alright, Perilous Jungle is huge. Perilous Jungle is actually huge for us. Now they got double Gardevoir. Oh my gosh. Will this Gardevoir be the final boss? This will definitely be the last game of this video. So we'll see if we can get that 100% win rate. Now I can put a question mark with this title and thumbnail because I really don't know if we're going to have a 100% win rate with Mega Latias EX in this game or in this session. Gardevoir could put us to a grinding halt. But yeah, turning off the Latias is annoying. Definitely worth considering preloading the Latias with additional energies as well in this matchup, or just in general for potential, you know, turning off our ability plays. Okay, we got the Jet. That's huge for us. Can we knock it out? Is it weak? Oh, it's weak to metal. It's weak to metal. That's annoying. Okay, we're gonna go Perilous Jungle. So now our poison is gonna hurt for 30. If we attack with the Yveltal, we're swinging 20 plus 40. Okay, we do have knockout. Okay, that's good. All right, so we're gonna have to go Jet Energy here for our... Actually, yeah, we can go... We don't even have to put the Jet on... We can put we could put the Jet on a different Pokemon instead here. Let's do... Is there a world where Brute Bonnet ever takes a huge knockout? No. Okay, let's Jet up Mew. And then I'm gonna retreat into Yveltal. We're gonna go Toxic Powder. So now we're swinging for 60, and then the poison is gonna hurt him for 30. So we have knockout in between turns. We got Mew for 1. And then what feels awful is this. Our Pecharunt is going to get knocked out if we don't put a charm on it. So is our Latias. We need another Bravery Charm. We don't have a second Bravery Charm. There's a world where they take a 5 prize turn on this next turn. We're going to put the Binding Mochi on. Honestly, I think we might have to conserve the Binding Mochi. We might have to go for a Bloodmoon play, like a big Bloodmoon play into the Gardevoir. I think that's what's going to happen. So we're going to have to go Iono here and save the Mochi for Bloodmoon for later in this upcoming turns. Really close game. I'm having a blast. I'm actually having a blast here. All right, we go. Clutch. Can we clutch it? Yveltal with the clutch attack. Poison damage coming in. Here we go. Oh, there's absolutely a world too where if Yveltal was healthy enough, or if we're if Yveltal was healthy enough, we're swinging for like 150 for weakness times 2 into Gardevoir plus poison. We would knock out the Gardevoir, but we'd have to have 3 energies on Yveltal, which is insane. We would have to play like Crispin. We'd have to have a Yveltal with an energy on it already, and then also Crispin. Yeah, and that's not happening. That is not happening. But that would be enough to knock out full health Gardevoir EX, as long as we have the Mochi to make 150 the base damage multiplied by 2. Alright, so having the Ultra Ball is huge here. They're really having to decide, like, they have a big decision to make here. So for us, we have Ultra Ball for Bloodmoon, and we could totally boss's orders the other Guardy that has nothing on it, so it's like kind of stranded. But if they can take a 6 prize turn or 5 prize turn, we're in a bad spot here. Actually, no, it's kind of for the best they do take a 5 prize turn so that our Bloodmoon can attack for free. So all we would have to do is get a Mochi, get our Mochi out, and we win. Now the problem is we know our Mochi's on the bottom of our deck, right? Because we used Iono last turn. So Ultra Ball would have to get us Bloodmoon. It would shuffle our deck up, and then we would need to either just raw. We would need to draw into. We would just have to like draw into the Mochi for game. If we get Arven, I think that's ideal. If Arven were to give us like a Night Stretcher, we can Night Stretcher the Latias back, and then Mochi, and then win the game that way. So really tight game here, really close. Oh, but them. All right, research here. All right, let's see what they do. Let's see what they do. This is so close. This is so close. Oh my gosh. Artisan. Okay. Okay, Artisan. Oh my goodness, this is an absolute nail biter of the game. And they might be trying to play this in a way where we also get knocked out by poison in between turns too. So they could set up this Yveltal to take 30 from the monkey damage, 60 from the attack, and then knock us out with poison to turn off our flip the script. They could steal one of our plays. Alright. There's some more damage coming into the board. Oh my goodness, yeah. As long as we just need draw. We need some draw power with Mew or Fez. And having the boss is huge because we could boss that Fez on the bench, and that might be the play. Alright, they're giving us the Guardy. The Guardy for 250 health here. So let's see what they do. This is a insanely big turn here. They have an 8-card deck, 3-card hand, Adrenabrain coming in. Where is this damage going to go? This is going to be super, super huge for this match here. All right, they're hitting the Mew for 30. Are they going to just try and not take any knockout at all? Is there a world where they're going to do that and they're just going to slowly chip at us away with Munkidori? But if they don't knock out this Yveltal, we could go for a boss play and get this Fezandipiti stranded. And then it's going to come down to getting that Bloodmoon out. Alright, so we're down our Pecharunt. They got one more card to work with. Alright, they're hurting us with that play. They have 5 prizes remaining. What can we do here to try and steal this game away from them? Let's cook here. Let's cook. Alright, let's promote the Mew EX first. That's always safe. Oh, if we were... Okay, okay. I'm like thinking of plays that we can do that don't involve the cards we have in our deck. But there's like a world where, you know, Crispin and the Latios Jr. helps us out and we bring in the Mega Latias. But, alright, what can we actually do? Let's find out. Can we dig for a Yveltal again? Okay, let's go Artisan. I think we only play one Yveltal. Okay, we got Mimikyu and Pecharunt. They have a 2 prize knockout there with the monkey damage. And then if they boss or counter, they need to take, yeah, they need to take two prize knockouts here. That Bravery Charm is actually insane for us. If we can, what other another play we can do? Crispin is in deck. Okay. Is big Bloodmoon play? Do we? Okay. We're gonna fail that. We're gonna bring in Mega Latias. We need to Iono them. Ugh, I don't even know, like, they just have so much available. We need to... I think we have to somehow attack that Fez. Okay. Yeah, we need to attack that Fez in one way or another. Let's discard these two. And that will give us... That will give us... We need to get that Fez stranded in the active. That's the goal here now. Bloodmoon is cool. I could also strafe into Mimikyu so they can't hit us. They'd have to gust us. That's a world too. I think going Mimikyu might be... No, but it's easy for them to... it's so close. You know what? Let's go with the blood, because... Oh yeah, it's super tight. Okay. Yeah, I think we can get the Bloodmoon here. We'll bench the Bloodmoon and go Mew for... Okay, we have to attack this, like, we're attacking that no matter what. So we're gonna go Boss's Orders, the Fez here. Mew for 3, and then flip for 3. We need energy. There's the energy. Okay, we flip the script. Man, if we had a second Yveltal in this, a second Yveltal would have stolen us the game. Or if we hit the other Night Stretcher, which I forget if we have. Yeah, I think we have 1 or 2 more Night Stretchers left in the deck too. That's too bad. Okay, so we're gonna go attach to Latias. We just gotta start setting up some damage on this dude here. We're also going to Toxic Powder, Retreat, and Strafe. And then, do I want to give him any of these guys? 280 is a lot to deal with. I think we're gonna keep him in the active. If they take a knockout on any of our dudes, then we need only 1 energy to attack the Fez for knockout. Now, the next issue we have is we're out of Boss's Orders. The other copy of Boss is in the prize cards here. So we don't have a way to gust anymore either. So it's going to come down to, can they attach from hand to retreat? And then what are they going to do from there? But yeah, if they take a knockout... Okay, there's a hand attached. We're in trouble now. Super Rod's coming in. So now here's like, maybe I should include a second Yveltal, right? These are the kind of games where you're happy, you're having good, fun, close games because you can improve your deck much more. All right, we're gonna hit with the Iono. Iono to 2 here. Mimikyu and an Iono of our own. But yeah, we're down our Gust here, which is a huge issue. So we're gonna need them to attack with the Gardevoir, and then we have to get Mochi. So Iono has to go crazy here. We need Mew's Restart to go crazy, Iono to go crazy, and then we need our other Mochi. Man, alright, here we go. We got the Retreat. We got the Gardevoir coming in. They can't Gust us. Unless they have Counter Catcher. If they have Counter Catcher, we're cooked, right? They would have Counter Catchered us now. Because if they're going to take a knockout right now with the Latias, then we're in trouble. Okay, they're putting 30 onto the Mew. Here's the next 30. Oh, if they were to like Counter Catcher our Brute Bonnet and then knock out our Latias, we would have been cooked too. Alright, here comes the Miracle Force. So now they win if we don't hit the nuts here. Doesn't the Night Stretcher? Decisions. Night Stretcher gets us energy. If we hit like a Crispin with 2 energies in the deck, we could win with Illusory Impulse. Okay, we're gonna have to go Night Stretcher here. Get back our Psychic. And I think this game is about to ride on the fact on this Mew's Restart for 1. So here we go. This is the game-defining Mew Restart for 1. Can we hit something big? And the Binding Mochi. Ooh, that's not what I wanted to see. The Binding Mochi is not going to win us. Oh wait, what? The turn ended. Why did my turn end? Did it just? Did I? Oh no! I did not realize the timer was going that fast. I didn't know. No, not like this. Not like this. I didn't get to play the Binding Mochi and Iono. I have to watch this back. I did not realize my timer was about to get cooked right there. Oh, now I just feel bad. We just like wasted 20 minutes and oh man. How did I not see the timer counting down for us like crazy there? I threw that. Did we still have a chance at winning? I'm not sure. Binding Mochi, Iono, I don't think we had a chance at winning. But man, that was a crappy way to go out. I didn't even get to play out my last turn. I was thinking too hard. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Listen in the description down below.